men's rights activists. What are your thoughts on men's rights
Oh,
activists?
I'm sorry, MRA. Yeah. I was involved with some groups with them, and I might still be following them on Facebook. I think there's a lot that, um, if you want to talk about things being uneven, like women don't have to sign up for the draft and or to be able to vote, or
Hmm.
we have a lot of ways where we're more privileged. I understand why they think it's unfair, especially when it comes to family court. I've seen so many men just completely deprived of their rights to their children. And so I understand its need to exist. I don't think the MRAs are the ones that are super scary. There's a lot of people say, "Oh no, they're too extreme" or whatever. And even some of the MGTOWs can be pretty okay people too. They just don't want to be bothered with women. But unfortunately, because of the climate we set as a society by letting women continuously disparage men. I mean, even in the media, you see the men being the bumbling idiots in the commercials, and the women have all the answers, or the men are always screwing up, and the women look like angels. So it's like on every level of society, we're just constantly dogging men. It's no wonder that there will be some who go to the extreme, and they're like, we just want nothing to do with women. It's not worth the trouble. Get your passports. Whatever else you see them speaking about. And it's like, is it insulting as a woman who isn't like that? To a degree, but I already have my husband, so it doesn't affect me personally. But it's sad to see it happening in
Right.
general.
Yeah.
But I can't fault them for it, because it's
Right.
gotten so bad. It's like that's almost the only act of rebellion they have left, and
Right.
it's really unfortunate. Women seem to silence men's opinions and thoughts, and if they're talking about, let's say, sexual assault, and a man says, "Well, I was sexually assaulted by a woman," they either get laughed at, or even other dudes are like, "Oh, I wish I had been that lucky," and it's just really unfortunate. And you'd never
Oh,
say it to a woman talking about her assault. I wish I'd been that lucky.
yeah.
It's really sad and unfortunate. And
Yeah.
I've never had a problem with any MRAs personally. I have many friends who are. I support much of what they do. The only time I've ever butt heads is the circumcision topic, because I'm Jewish, so obviously
Okay. Okay.
that's a cultural thing for us. But
Hmm.
for them, I understand why people would be upset, because it's their body,
Yeah.
and it's a lot of things that I feel like there's been a frustration building for a long time, and it's
Right.
only right
I
that
understand
this.
their frustration, but I have to admit I get offended. So they
Mhm.
say things that do offend me. I do get offended. I don't know. Maybe I'm just sensitive or whatever, but I get offended. So, but I understand that they're frustrated and they have no. I understand that society is mean to them, and there is no recourse. There's no. Yeah, they have no way to speak out. It's really, yeah, it is. Yeah, but I do get offended because they're mean, in my opinion. So
Some are. I won't say all. Like I
yeah.
said, I have some that are perfectly wonderful gentlemen, and we,
Hmm.
we have delightful conversations. And then
Hmm.
there's some that have just been so scorched that they're as bad as the feminists that are like,
Yeah.
all women are bad, all women are they'll say all Western women. And it's like,
Yeah.
there's enough that I see why they feel that way, but it's if you're to the point that you're saying all anything, you're already taking it too far, because there's no case of all this, all that.
Yeah.
As far as what you were saying about, they say offensive things, I've noticed that a lot of people who say offensive things are coming from a place of pain or hurt, and it's helped a lot with dealing with not taking it as personally,
Hmm.
because I know that these people need some kind of help. It's like I say with the feminists when they get all nutsy. It's like, somebody's probably hurt them. They need some therapy,
Hmm.
or maybe they have a lot of piled on daddy issues and they need to solve them, unresolved childhood trauma, what have you, that
Hmm.
makes them so mean and hateful.
Hmm.
And it's kind of the same when I see men just dogging all women. I almost just feel bad for them more than
Yeah.
anything, because
I have
they've
thought.
just been through something.
I've thought this a lot in feminist circles as well. Yeah. Sometimes you see feminists be so mean and stuff like this, and then I'm like, actually, this person is just super hurt, and there's nothing I could say to them that would be constructive. They have to come to a place where they're not hurt, and I don't know how. Yeah, I don't know how they will get there, but but it's still not an excuse, in my opinion. I mean, for
Oh
them,
yeah,
it's an excuse for them to be mean. That's fine, but it's not an excuse for the whole doctrine of feminism and
yeah.
the whole like societal acceptance of this idea that men are somehow oppressing women, or that the structures of society are inherently oppressive towards women specifically. I find this to be still such an odd analysis of society that, and I understand like that women have faced issues, in society, that women you know have faced issues with childbirth and stuff like this historically and so on. Yeah, okay, I get it, but I don't think the structure of society was ever meant to be mean to women. I think the conditions were worse in the past, and so yeah, it went that way.
Well, the thing a lot of people forget is that, the human condition has a lot of mean people in it, and no matter if it's a patriarchy or matriarchy, there's always going to be people who abuse power.
Right.
There's always going to be a man who takes advantage of a woman in those past days, and there'll be women who absolutely take advantage of men in the current day. And unfortunately, that's just because you're never going to find a group of people that are completely wholesome or completely good. You just have to look for the good individuals.